Hey, 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 welcome everybody. How's it
Hey,
going?
everybody. Welcome.
Can y'all hear us? Ooh, Nick, coming in with that fresh cut.
Oh, yes. Yep. Fresh haircut.
Is yours
Um,
homemade as well?
it is. It is homemade. Julia cut it for me, and she watched a video,
Nice.
and yeah, just kind of went to town on it.
Nice. I mean, like, we probably won't see each other for a little while, so I
Yeah.
mean, if I already don't have much to lose when it comes to homemade haircuts, but
Right. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it we make it work.
Oops.
Nicole didn't watch the tutorial, but did the fade
Right.
and did pretty good. Better than
I'd
I could do. Anyways,
I'd say so.
I tried to cut my own hair. Um, what was it? A couple of years ago, and I tried to do the fade, and I literally just went off of what I would see, like the barbers that I would go to, and
Right.
how they did it. And as the haircut went on, my hair got progressively shorter and shorter until I had nothing because I kept messing it up. So for those of you at home who need a haircut, get somebody else to do it for you. So
Yeah.
I've only
Seriously.
seen one person, two people actually, who actually gave themselves like great haircuts, and I was so jealous because they were so fresh, and I would never be able to do that.
I mean, I used to shave my own head. I had one of those.
Mm.
I still have it. It's one of those like Conair things. It kind of looks like a camera lens. I have a camera lens here, and you just like put it on your head and rub it around like that, and it's got oscillating blades on the inside. It's cool.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like what are those vacuums, the automatic vacuums that roll around?
Oh, the Roombas.
The Roombas, it's like a Roomba
Yeah,
but for your head.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Hey, welcome everybody. Uh,
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
we're super stoked to have you all here. Um, hey, we're gonna play a little game today. Um, and this game was not made by Andrew and I, so we don't we kind of know what's coming, but we don't at the same time. So
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, Kyra put together a little Kahoot for us, and
Yes.
I think you guys are gonna really want to participate in this one because it's sure to get is embarrassing the right term, or I don't know. I guess it depends.
Uh, Embarrassing, maybe like what would be a good word? I think it would be historical would be a good word.
Historical's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, historical would be a good word. Also, for those of you who are asking about what the Zoom ID and password is, it's the same as last week's. And if you don't remember what it is, you got an email today with all of that in there. So you should be able to go grab that and hop in. But don't worry about getting in there right now because we are going to be in there after this stream.
Yeah. Yeah. This time we're we got this figured out a little bit more. We ran it last week. It went really well. It
I
was
thought it did too.
That was a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
seeing everybody just like absolutely swarm it, and then slowly kind of filter off into their rooms. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little chaotic at first. And then when I realized that all of the rooms were closed and nobody was getting an invite to go into them, and all I had to do was hit open, everything seemed to get a lot easier after that.
Yeah, totally. Um, hey everybody, we still got a few more people filtering in, so we'll start the game in like 60 seconds here.
Yeah. For
Um,
those of you who are also thinking about getting homemade haircuts, streaming those is also a great idea.
yeah, I think I think depending on how long this goes, um, I think the last update we were given was potentially until the end of May. So
Mm.
you and I may need another haircut before then.
I will 100%. I'll need another haircut tomorrow. My hair grows so fast.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
No,
Um,
legitimately, like this will all be this length in like a week.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Um, well, in that case, I think that might be something that that we could show everybody.
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking out loud. I don't want to get us into. I don't want to like promise too much, but it would be kind of
Right.
funny to cut each other's hair at the same time.
Oof. Oof.
I don't
I
know.
trust you, but I.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Oh man. I mean, we could do one of those like how to cut your own hair at home videos, and do that because
Yeah,
social
we
distancing. Am I right?
exactly. We had to watch a couple of those before getting started. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little transition here.
Yeah. Let's go.
My segue is clicking my finger on a mouse button, and boom, that's pretty cool. So if you guys want to jump into this Kahoot here, so www.kahoot.it, or if you have the Kahoot app, go for it. And the pin is 9519283. So make sure you guys jump in. I don't want to see any inappropriate names, or else I am calling it. So
Yeah.
that's on
Yeah.
you guys.
Wall rug, my favorite, my absolute favorite username already.
That's mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hashtag wall rug Nick. Bringing it back.
Awesome. Oh, see, that username is just Taves, so obviously they're working together. Potentially all three sisters working together to defeat us.
Ooh.
So we're gonna have
beat
to,
the Taze sisters.
yeah, we're gonna have to really work on that.
Yeah. Hashtag Trump 2020. Interesting.
Oh, getting a little political out here.
And like, yeah, a lot of things.
Big brain.
I mean, you're looking to the fall, so I mean that's good. We're looking ahead, seeing like the world's gonna continue to spin, all of that.
Right.
But how are people gonna vote from home?
I
That would be
I
my
don't know.
question.
I mean, they tried it, I think, with the primaries or something like that, right?
Did they?
I
Did they
think
do like
so.
an online? Like I thought that seems sketchy, but
I'm not sure if they did online or if they did like. Actually, yeah, I don't know how they did that.
yeah, me neither. Oh, we still got people rolling in, hey?
Well, yeah, they're still coming in.
How many people are we at now?
We've got 56 players. Sorry, my camera
Oh.
is covering it, but
No, it's okay. We got 90 people watching. So how about this? We got 2 more minutes for you to get in, and if you don't get in the 2 minutes, we're gonna start the game. There's 90 of you watching right now. Ooh, that might cover. If you want to go top right corner, that might cover some of your questions.
oh, right here.
There we go.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Just magnificent. Do you like it right tucked up to the corner, or is it better with just like a little bit of?
Oh, it's so satisfying when it's. I mean, maybe that's a personal thing, but that also looks good if it's symmetrical.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like, oh, how'd you get there? I mean, I could
Yeah.
also make myself really itty bitty and go like right over top of the start button.
Oh, there you go.
Is that you guys like that one? That one's good, I think.
All right, 68. We got how about 30 more 30 more seconds.
I think
30 more seconds to get in. Ultimate potato. Is that Noah Blackstock?
Oops, my phone locked, so it
Oh, same.
it took me out, but I'm back in.
Let me get back in there.
Oh yeah, don't let your phone or your device, whatever you're playing on, don't let it close.
Yeah.
Ian Trigg. Uh-oh.
Oh, what? Is he checking up on us?
He might be. Everybody make us look good. Hey, how great is youth ministry now, right?
It's for real.
Okay.
So
83,
high tech.
85, 86. Oh my gosh, you guys are just jumping in.
You give them 30 seconds and, these are the people who asked to come to Elevate the day before we go.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got to remember to sign up for things a little earlier. All right, we're
We
at
know who you are.
88, 87. Somebody's device just closed. Okay, we're hovering right there. We're going to get started then. In 3,
Let's go.
2,
Oh, I'm so excited.
1, start.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Oh,
I
so
sure
ready.
am.
Baby youth leaders.
Which youth leader
Let's
is
go.
this?
What leader are these? You have to match the photo to the leader. Which youth leader is this?
Oh my
Is this
goodness.
Julia Taze, Julia Kennedy, Hillary Olfert, or Christine Taze?
I
Oh, that's
have
a hard one.
I have no idea.
I actually also have no idea.
Like, I mean, I know it's not my
Don't forget,
junior.
you only have like.
Oh,
3
I got
seconds.
it.
Oh. I guessed the wrong Taze sister. Dang it.
That took me so long. I was not expecting to get the right one.
Okay.
Hey. Wow.
Oh, can you turn the cahoots down just a little bit?
The cahoots?
Yeah, the cahoot sound. Sorry.
Oh, the cahoots
Apparently it's spoiled.
sound. Yeah, let me wait.
That's.
How are you hearing it?
I'm not. I'm getting feedback from other people.
I muted it before it. There shouldn't be any volume.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Here we go. Next question. Which youth
Oh
leader
my
is
gosh.
this?
I think I know this one.
Oh, is this Nick Kennedy, Cade Griner, Andrew Berg, or Ben Anderson? Who is this? That is a great outfit, though.
It's quite something.
Yeah.
I put you. Oh, I got it too.
It is me.
See, I only knew that because I saw the Instagram post that Foothills did a few months ago.
And that little mug made his way. I did not become a train conductor, though. That's
That's a shame.
wall rug to the top. You didn't play this before, did you?
No, I didn't.
Which youth leader is this? Is this Tatiana? Is this Kyra? Is this Emma? Or is this Shauna Kime? Did I get this right?
I
I
don't know if I got this
There's a
one.
little bit of resemblance, but
No, I got it wrong.
Yes!
Wow, I was not expecting
got
that.
it. Emma.
Okay.
So little.
Oh, hey, I got it wrong, but
Oh, you held on.
I'm still up there.
I'm
All
not
right.
ahead. Are you being ahead?
Which youth leader is this?
All
Oh
right.
my goodness. They're not
Oh, I
having
think
the
I picked
best
wrong
of
one.
time.
They don't look super happy.
No, I can't tell. It kind of looks like they might be pooping. Just a little bit.
Well, I mean,
Hey, I guessed right.
I guessed you.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought honestly, actually, after I answered it, I was like, it looks like Jordan, but even that would have been wrong.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Oh, you got to give us like a 5-second head start too. Which youth leader is this?
Oh my gosh.
Emily Anderson, Julia Taze, Kim Cormack, Julia Kennedy. Who is this?
I think
I think I know.
I think this
I
one's
can.
Emily
I can
Anderson.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one. That was a gooder. Are you still on top? Because you got that 5-second.
Oh, I even waited. I literally waited till I saw answers coming in before clicking.
He's too good. You got it. Who's gonna knock Walrug off of his throne?
Yeah, you guys gotta pick it up here.
He's.
I
gonna
even have
give you
this
the
set to
chance.
basically like no delay.
Which youth leader is this? Julia
Oh,
Taze, Stephanie
I think I
Hallwitz,
guessed wrong.
Emily Anderson, Raina Boschman. Oh, I have no idea.
I don't think I guessed right.
I don't think I did either, but I also just can't tell.
Oh, I guessed right. Oh my gosh.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, I could tell.
Nice.
got,
nice. Well done.
Oh my
Well
gosh,
done.
Caitlin is chasing me down here.
Yep, it's close. It's very, very close.
All right, who is this? Oh yeah,
Who is this?
yeah,
I can't
that
see
one.
quite yet. Oh, I know. This is either Jordan Nord, Travis Jackson, Everett Bourne, or Josiah Olfert.
This is only one of them.
Oh yes, we'll pick one. I think I can see this one a mile away. Yep,
This one
there
got
we
the most
go.
overwhelming correct answer.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was a gooder.
That
That was a
was
great
awesome.
photo.
All right, let's try
Oh,
this again.
I can't see yet. Who is this? Is this
I
Sarah Hawley,
I
Tori
don't know.
Basaraba, Hillary Olfert, or Juliana Malkinson? I don't know. I'm reading the
I have
questions.
I
You
have
should
no
read the
idea.
questions and then answer, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to catch up.
Oh yeah, I can read. Every question is which youth leader is
Ah,
this?
got wrong.
Ah,
Got it wrong. Oh,
me too.
I said it was
Wow,
Juliana.
look at that. Nobody knew. That's just like
Yeah, that was pretty much
holy cow. That was a
even
good one.
across the board. All right. Wow, I'm so impressed. This is 8 out of 30. That means that everybody submitted a photo. This is good.
Yeah. All right. So which youth leader is this? Your options are
I still can't see yet.
Sarah Hawley, Christine Taves, Emily Anderson, or Kyra Murray.
Oh,
I
oh,
I
I
think
know that one.
I think this one's a little
Poor
bit
Sarah.
obvious.
Props. If you gave this photo yourself,
Yep. Way to
that is
go.
a gooder.
Yeah. Everybody knew.
Yeah, everybody got it.
That one was funny. I liked that one.
Oh, was so good. Are you sure that wasn't Kyra's mom?
Oh yeah. I'll tell you guys that story after. Who is this? Okay, Juliana Malkinson, Tori Basaraba, Shauna Kime, or Tegan Wadstein.
Oh, who is this? I have no idea. Oh, that is a nice jacket, though.
I like the
That
buttons.
bear in the background is looking.
Oh, I did not get that one right.
Oh, I didn't get it right either. Oh, really? But everybody else could tell.
Wow, that was
Dang.
yeah. That one fooled me.
I did
Ah,
not
I'm
know
gone.
at all. Oh, Phil. Oh, he's still in the running. Still in the running.
All right, which youth leader is this? Logan Siemens, Matthew Red Bull, Matthew
I know.
Chan, Jerry Quinn. Yep, this one's
I know.
a clear winner.
Yeah, this is so good.
Oh, yeah, yep. Most
This
people
is
knew
so
that one.
fun.
One person voted
Yes.
for Logan Siemens. We're not allowed to talk about why that's funny.
Yeah.
That was so good. Okay.
Voted Logan. That's amazing. You're getting called out.
Which youth leaders is this?
Oh, I know.
I don't. This one's not Logan either.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Why is it?
man.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
I did not get that one right
Oh,
either.
I definitely got that one. I should know that one.
Oh,
Oh, that was so funny.
oh man. All right, next question.
Oh,
Which
dang.
youth leader is this? Sarah Hawley, Kyra Murray, Juliana Malkinson, or
Oh,
Tegan
yeah.
Wadstein?
I got that one a mile away.
Yeah, this one is
Is
pretty clear.
that Puppy Christmas? Is that a Puppy Christmas shirt?
No,
And
those are
how
teddy
come the
bears.
How come the background only covers part of her? It doesn't fill the background.
Those were teddy bears, and they were doing cartwheels and somersaults and pouring out honey on trees.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that is intricate.
It was a journey of a sweater.
Oh, is Sarah Hawley the one who's on top?
I think so. All right,
It's
which youth
Matilda.
leader is this? Travis Jackson, Nick Kennedy, Aiden
Oh, I think
Klukas,
I've
Spencer
seen it.
Fowler.
I think I've even seen this photo before.
I have not. I think I know who
that
it is.
that's so blonde.
I have this down to 2.
I think I may have seen this before. Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
I think this may have popped up at his wedding.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh,
we're almost halfway through here. So, which youth leader
Sarah is the one
is
who's winning.
Tori Basaraba, Sarah Hawley, Raina Boschman, or Kyra Murray?
I have no idea, but I think I know.
I think
I
I do too.
you know what gives it away is the decorations. I honestly think
The
it's
decorations.
mom coming in with the
Yeah.
decoration. Yeah,
I
I
also
got
guessed
it.
that.
That's
Wow, I'm
because
getting
her
right
mom
answers
is
and I'm
very
like
good at
falling
decorating.
behind.
Oh, I'm like 15th place. I don't know if I'm coming back. Man, Sarah just keeps holding on.
She's in the zone right now.
That
Which youth
one.
leader is this? Okay, Emily Anderson, Christine Taves, Stephanie Hallwis, or Tatiana Haynes. I actually think I know this one.
I think I do too, but I answered too late, so it's not going to be enough points.
I think
I think I can see it now. The more I look at it, man,
yeah.
that car though, that in the
Yeah.
background, that green, whoo, they don't make them like that anymore. Yes.
Excellent. Oh, what's
Uh,
this? Oh, we can make the picture bigger after.
oh, good.
She's
Good. I can definitely see it now. I
yeah.
definitely see it.
Yeah, that one was pretty
That's
obvious.
good.
Oh man, I gotta get back on the podium here. Which
Oh,
youth leader
Everett
is
is coming.
this? Tatiana, Nicole, Julia, or Julia?
Oh, they're strutting. Whoever
They
they are, I
they
don't
are.
actually know who
I
this is.
I have no idea. Well,
They
wait.
got some attitude though. Wow.
I think I know. I think it's
I
Tatiana. Oh
I think
yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah.
Oh,
I see it. I see it
I
now.
thought it was Julia. Honestly, I guess. Okay, the hair color is what threw me off.
Oh, my Julia's on the podium. I think.
Oh, it's amazing what happens when your own photo shows up. Oh
Yeah,
no, that wasn't even
that
her.
wasn't even hers.
That was
Okay.
Maya, guess. Whoops.
Who is this? Oh my goodness. Is it Aiden Plukas, Jordan Nord, Spencer Fowler, or Everett Bourne?
I think I know.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I think I've seen them make this face before.
He looks like the brain
Yes,
from
I
Pinky and the
got
Brain.
it. Oh,
Oh,
it was Larry the Cucumber. Oh, they thought it was Aiden.
I thought it was Aiden too.
Yeah, Larry the Cucumber. Good stuff. I'm just middle of the pack. Actually, no. I guess there's 80 or 90 of us here, so 14th is not middle of the pack.
Which
Sarah,
youth
though,
leader is this?
holding on to the top
Raina
spot.
Boschman, Christine Taves, Kim Cormack, or Julia Kennedy?
Oh, come on. I got to get this one right. I think I've guessed this. I've guessed her like probably 4 times now and got it wrong every single time.
I don't know.
I think I can. I recognize this. This doesn't mean to be creepy, but I recognize the house.
Oh,
Yes, got
Yeah.
it.
it's not creepy. Maybe a little.
Yeah. I
Oh,
used to
no
be in
change.
Dad's life group. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Which youth leader is this? Oh, I know this one.
Do you?
Ben Anderson, Logan Siemens,
Oh.
Nick Kennedy, or Stefan Bijanik. I actually don't know how to
Logan
say your
Siemens.
last name. It's. I'll give you a
Oh.
hint. Yep,
Yep.
it's a
It's Nick.
little old flamingo park, Nick.
That one we can see. That's fresh.
Which youth leader is this? Emily Anderson, Julia Malkinson, Kyra Murray, or Shauna Kime?
Oh, I think I know.
I think I do too.
I think I know.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice, man.
Oh,
Those that banister, that's a throwback.
right. I had one of those in my house too, actually. Like almost that's exact same one. I had these same like pillar
Yeah.
thingies. When I was a kid, I used to
Oh.
like put my hand around like that bottom part
Oh, yeah.
right here.
Because it looked like a sword, right?
Yeah, it kind of did. I felt like it was
Yeah,
the hilt of a sword.
totally.
Okay, I
Jonah,
just
that's a great
realized
pick.
if you get lots of right answers in a row, you get more
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. I'm on a 4-answer streak right now.
Okay, I'm not that good yet, but which youth leader is this? Is this Stephanie Hallwis, Julia Kennedy, Hillary Olfert, or Tegan Wadstein?
I think I know. I think
I
I know.
think I do too, but I think I answered wrong.
Did you? Oh, I
Nope,
got it wrong.
I
Who
got
is
it. I
it?
got it right.
Really?
I got it right.
Oh, pull that up again. I was convinced that was Tegan.
Nice teeth.
Oh, there it is. Now that I for sure see it.
Yeah.
Fresh.
All right. I'm going for first place here. There's 8 questions left. I'm toppling the leader here. Who is this? Or which youth leader is this? Ethan Ewing, Aiden Klukas, Spencer Fowler, or Andrew Berg?
Oh, for
I
sure. Got it
I,
without hesitation.
I think I know.
I think I know too.
I actually don't know this.
Really?
Okay, yeah, I did get it. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That one I saw right away. Yeah. So did everybody else.
Okay. That makes
Oh, but
sense.
Sarah also got it right. So
All right. We're gunning for it. Which
okay.
youth leader is this one? Sarah Hawley, Emma Regier, Tori Basaraba, or Kim Cormack?
I have no idea.
I also have no idea.
I'm
Because
very wrong.
what
I
what I
guess
want to
I guessed the
say,
wrong one.
yeah, I was gonna guess one, but they've already been guessed.
But hasn't. Oh, that
There was a double.
who is? Oh, I was
It
wrong.
it threw us
Dang it.
off. See, I was gonna guess
See,
Tori, but then I
everybody.
didn't.
I guessed Kim. I thought it was Kim too.
I
Mostly because she hadn't been up yet.
Yeah, that's why I guessed Kim.
Dang it. Got me. Oh, I dropped.
Oh, Sarah fell. She's not the leader anymore.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Which youth leader is this? Josiah Olfert, Everett Bourne, Jordan Nord, or Spencer Fowler?
I don't know.
Kind of looks
That's
like
too early. It's
Yeah.
too early. No, I have no idea.
look a little bit like a tadpole.
But whoever this is, can you recreate this someday?
Oh, Josiah Olfert.
Oh,
I guessed
got it
Jordan.
wrong.
I got that one
I
wrong
guess
too.
Spencer. Dang. Oh, I'm falling. There's no chance for me.
Oh, I'm off the podium now.
Oh, Sarah's back on top.
Which youth leader is
Oh,
this?
Nicole's up too.
Nicole Berg, Juliana Malkinson, Kyra Murray, or Raina Boschman?
Oh, I know. I see it. I see it. I see it.
I guessed wrong. I see it now too.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh,
I put in the
I
wrong
think
answer.
I think I know who you guessed though.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I
still
thought it
didn't
was.
jump.
Dang.
Yeah.
27. Which youth leader
dang.
is this one? Is this Gabriel Lee, Nick Kennedy, Ty Griner, or Andrew Berg? I don't know.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Whoever he is, he looks a little confused.
What is a camera?
Not much has changed.
Nice.
Can you zoom in on that one real quick?
Oh, shoot. We'll go back
it's
after.
gone. That's okay. The
We're on
potato.
number 28. Which youth leader is this? Is this Julia Kennedy, Nicole Berg, Jillian Ewing, or Tegan Wadstein?
That's so terrifying,
It is a little bit.
but also cute. And
I can't tell. Oh, I
the,
did not
the
know that.
nose is very red. Aha!
I I did not see that one.
Maybe we get our kid to recreate that photo. There it is. I mean,
Yeah.
she makes that face on a regular basis, right?
Which youth leader is this? Question mark.
Two
Josiah
questions.
Olfert, Nick Kennedy, Travis Jackson, or Everett Bourne?
Oh,
I think I know this, and I think I guess wrong.
I think I got it. But yeah, dang. I
Yeah.
think I know. Yep,
Travis
got it.
Jackson.
So wait. That emceeing his wedding's really coming through for me. I'm still only in 12th place though.
All right. I
Love me
believe
some branches. Nice.
I believe this is the final one.
This is it. This is for the marbles. Oh,
The
and it's
last
close too. This
one.
could literally go anywhere.
Which youth leader is this? Is it Tori, Kyra, Sarah, or Hillary?
I don't know, but that's amazing. Oh, I guessed wrong. I see it now.
Yep, I do too.
I went to go as quick as I could. Oh, that's so funny. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm wrong. Yes.
Nice. All right. Well, let's do our baby youth
Well,
leader podium. In
I'm
third
seeing
place,
their wedding. Oh,
Greg and Natalie. Way to go. In second place, my wife, I think.
nice.
And in first place, Sarah. Way to go.
Huzzah! Congratulations, congratulations, Sarah. That photo, now that it's out there, I am emceeing their wedding this summer, so it's gonna be good.
Oh, wait a minute. I figured it out. Haha. I was the winner all along. No, I wasn't.
Oh, good game, good game.
Good job, everybody.
All right. Hey,
Hey, there we go.
as a good transition, I don't have one for this topic.
And now a segue.
Yeah. Well, hey, kind of pick up. Thank you, Kyra, by the way, for putting that together. That was a lot of hard work, and it was so good. So everybody give Kyra a big shout out. That was a lot of fun, but we kind of inadvertently have started down a bit of a spiritual disciplines path, I guess, with like hitting solitude and silence, and now we're in fasting. And I know a lot of people don't know what this is, mostly because I would say this is probably the least practiced in North American Christianity, and probably also the most misused one.
Hmm.
So like to kind of give an example, we're gonna go through like what this is, how or why we do it, how you do it, and then what are we as a group gonna do about this. And we know that there's some sensitive areas when it comes to giving up something, and often when we think of fasting, we think of giving up food.
Right.
So we'll touch on that for sure. But we really think that we think this is a great tool. Again, it's not the end; it's a means to getting
Mhm.
closer with the Father. And we are also hanging out in Matthew 4 again, Jesus in the wilderness, where he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, this is not prescriptive. Don't try that. There's only a few cases where this in the Bible where like somebody took a 40-day fast, and there are very special circumstances.
Mhm.
But to kind of give it an intro, I didn't do a food fast, and starting in November, I took a social media fast from the month of November, I think closer to the beginning to Christmas. And I did it for a number of reasons. Some were good, some were not necessarily to get close to God, which for fasting, that's really what it is. But I did it mostly because of my screen time reports, like that little.
Mm,
I mean, if you have Apple, you get that whole um, how many hours you've spent on your phone this week,
that's why I've got
and
Android, so I don't
yes,
have to know.
guilt
Yeah,
guilt free,
yeah,
no shame.
exactly.
So I wanted to see what I could do with the rest of my time. It wasn't so much a responsive fast, and we'll get into like what that means in a little bit, but it was a fast to get something out of it.
Mm,
Um, and so here's what I learned in that is what I thought I needed. And when it comes to social media, there's like perhaps the negative connotations to it, the approval, the affirmation, the attention from others.
for sure.
And then but there's some positives, the connection, especially these days. We're seeing that in a whole new way right now.
Oh,
Um,
totally.
and so these like perceived needs that I had, I began to learn in this fast that these needs that I just mentioned, or these desires that I just talked about, I began to find in Jesus inadvertently, but also kind of on purpose. And I did so in spending that time I normally would be on social media, in His Word and prayer and etc. And
Mm,
as I found, I gave up this thing I would go to naturally. It's not hard to pull up your phone. I would just do it. So, what do you think fasting is? What would you say fasting is, Nick?
Uh, spoiler alert: we've done research on this, so I'm trying to I'm trying not to use like a textbook definition or anything like that. But I think fasting is a an act of self denial in a way. Like we are denying ourselves something that we would um, generally want, so that we can grow spiritually with God. That's what I believe uh, a Christian fast is.
Hmm. That's good. Yeah, I like that idea of like self denial. I think that's hard, especially these days. We live in a culture where you can have whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, and I think that has a lot more weight today when that's
Right.
not when we actually go about not going for that instant gratification,
Mm.
and not reaching for the easy pleasure, the easy fix, the easy whatever it is,
Right.
to put that aside and look for Jesus to meet that need.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. And I
I,
think that's like that's the that's the important part. And I like what you said there. Like having Jesus meet that need. Like his line when he's in the desert after being baptized, uh, the that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the Father's mouth. Like
mm,
it it sounds so it sounds so like counteractive to everything that we know. Like obviously we require food and water and clothing and air and shelter to survive, but he's talking about something so much more. Like is it really living? Like can we really be fully alive? Can we really experience life to its fullest if we are denying ourselves one of the greatest things, or the greatest thing ever, which is a relationship with God?
mm, yeah. And I think you bring up an interesting point, because I think it would be easy to kind of to warp what fasting is into like, if I do
Yeah.
this, I get something out of it.
Right.
And we can't manipulate God. God is above manipulation. Um, but the heart of what fasting is, and whether that's food or social media or a thing, whatever it might be, it's actually a response,
Mm-hmm.
not a okay God, I've done this, now you kind of owe me. It's not like a
Right.
favor that you would do for a friend in order to for them to do a favor, for them to owe you a favor. We do it because of what He has already done and
Mm.
what He's doing in our lives and in our hearts. And I think this idea of fasting, John Mark Comer talks about this, and he says it's a means of praying with our entire body, which I love. because when I think of prayer, I think it includes my intellect, my heart. Um, but maybe I'm in a position where I'm praying on my knees or whatever. But I think when it comes to like this self denial thing, especially in the physical area of it, it brings the all of me into my prayer time.
I like that. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, like, we're even instructed that to offer our bodies as living sacrifices, right? Like,
Mm,
it's not just our time. Like, yes, we offer our time, and that is a good thing, and we offer our money when we give to the church. We offer food and stuff like that if we're serving or bringing a meal to somebody. But like, we are actually instructed in Romans 12 to offer our body as a living sacrifice, and that's crazy. Like, um, that is such a powerful statement that, like, it's our lives and our bodies, like the two things that we are given full control over, that God
mm,
wants us to sacrifice to him, us to give to him.
right. Yeah, and I think in something like fasting, we're saying, I want to even I'm going to for a time, for a set amount of time, I'm going to put aside something that I would normally just um I would just go to without even thinking about it. So if I'm hungry, I know I go to my fridge that's right behind me,
Mm.
and I grab something to eat. And instead, what I do for this amount of time is, instead of whenever I think, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but instead of, like, when I think about food, I take that time and I pray, or I listen, or I
Right.
spend time in the Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know of a few kind of leaders in our denomination, and you and I have chatted with them a bunch, but some of the or one of the names that comes to mind is Chet, and he did intermittent fasting for a while, and he kind of he went at it almost twofold, like where went at it spiritually, but also went at it for the physical benefits, because there are physical benefits of certain strategies of fasting, um, and I think those are also like very valid, because of course, if we're going to offer our body as a living sacrifice, then we're going to want to make sure that we offer the best that we can possibly offer. We don't,
Mm.
um, God deserves the best that we can give. He doesn't go up to us and take the best from us, but he waits for us to offer the best to him.
Mm.
And so I think, like, we're even instructed, or we're told in the Bible, um, and I'm trying to remember um, exactly the verse, but that our body is a temple, um, and so I think that kind of intermittent fasting, it's spiritually extremely beneficial for our spiritual health, but it can also be extremely beneficial for our physical health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that idea of like our body as a temple, when you think about the what that would have meant for the Jewish context, where there was a temple, and they believed that that housed the presence of God. Now that we are temples and we house the presence of God, you look at the Old Testament and you see how some kings would fill these temples full of idols,
Mm,
and it was like desecrating a holy place, because it wasn't the building that was holy; it was the presence of God there that
right.
made it holy. So for somebody to say that we're now temples, like, that's incredible to say. It's because we are now made holy because of who resides within us. And so, yeah,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
idea now is you're taking care of your body, you're taking care of your physical being, and then also um, giving it up for God. That just brings an extra bit of weight to it. Um, but that's really good.
Yeah, totally. Um, so why? Obviously, we know, like, what fasting is. It has its benefits, and there are really really good things about it, and we should do it. But why do we do it?
Mm-hmm. it's a good question because it's like, yeah, okay, you know, that's fine. That sounds great, but if we don't give a why behind it, why would anybody do it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
honestly, I what I think is it why we do it is we draw strength from God rather
Mm,
than from food or from whatever we might be fasting from. It's that idea of, okay, I can nourish myself in this moment and give myself energy strength, but instead I'm going to put aside my own ability to do that and
mm,
really lean into God to find and to seek his presence, his voice, and what he wants to say to me, for me, about me, maybe for somebody else.
right.
Yeah. And fighting that instant gratification piece, I think, is also huge because we begin in that instant gratification. We begin to come to a place where I deserve what I have, and I think that's a really dangerous place to live in.
That's a really good point. I actually feel like I probably fall into that sometimes where like, I'll work hard for something and then I kind of have that sense that like, yeah, I worked for this. It's mine and I deserve it. And
Mm.
and I'm upset when something happens to it. And yeah, that's such a great point. It's like thinking falsely thinking that we deserve what we have because, we either worked for it or we just like our stuff.
Yeah, and it kind of helps us like see what we have as a gift.
Totally, yeah. And like for me, a lot of and this may sound weird to those watching, but a lot of what I know about fasting, I've learned from Muslim friends.
Hmm.
And when I worked at another church in Calgary, I got to run the ESL program there, and it was it was such a wonderful experience for me. And I met some great people, and I miss them a lot. Like I really do. Um, but they taught me a lot. They were Muslim, and they taught me a lot about fasting. And I remember during Ramadan, we chatted about it tons of times because really, I'm no English teacher. I'm not even a very good speller, to be honest. So it was more conversational. It was a conversation class, and so kind of the point of it was, hey, let's come and chat. Let's have a conversation. And so I got to learn about Ramadan and
Which is
the
coming up.
which is coming up, yeah. Um, and the way that they do it is they'll fast when the sun's up, basically. So when they can eat kind of one or two times, sort of, before the sun comes up and after the sun goes down, and then for the rest of the time, for the rest of the month, they fast, and I thought that was cool, and so I would ask them lots of questions, um, and although I may not agree necessarily with the theology of it, I think that um, they had really good intentions with where they were coming from, and so what I learned is they believe that um, that fasting or swam, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I can't remember, but
I
um,
don't know.
it's a form of religious obligation for overcoming their lust and desires within a reasonable limit so that one can control oneself and prevent becoming a slave to their appetites. Um,
Mm.
and they believe that if they can't prevent themselves from their bodily desires, that they can't achieve salvation. Um, and so, obviously, slight differences in the theology, but um, I thought that's such an interesting concept because so often I make the mistake of thinking like Christians are the ones that have it figured out, and you know anything any other religion is just like, there's nothing that we can really learn from it. And having this conversation about fasting with my Muslim friends, I realized that like there is so much that I could learn about fasting from the practical methods of it, and how they just
Mm.
go all day, and their focus is on uh, denying themselves so that they don't become a slave to their bodily desires. And like how
Mm.
often in my life when I've sinned, I've just been a slave to my bodily desires. um, whatever that may be, whether it was, lying to my parents about having homework and stuff like that. I was a slave to myself. I was a
Mm,
slave to my sin. And that was like mind blowing in those
mhm.
conversations with them.
That's real. I think there's so many application points there of that you know that idea that we become slaves to sin, right? First Peter
Yeah,
talks about that. That which overcomes or overwhelms you, you become a slave to. So in
totally.
fasting, what we're doing is we're actually saying, God, you're in control,
Hmm.
and we're giving Him rather than these when we apply it to sin, we say, rather than my sin nature, God, I'd rather you be in control.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so how do you fast? Like you talked about your experience fasting from social media. Um,
Yeah,
one, how
it's a
did
good
how
question.
did you do
Oh,
that?
sorry.
And no, sorry. Yeah, just how'd you do that, or how would you fast in other ways?
Okay, so for my social media fast, I'll do the social media one, and then I'll do the food one.
Okay.
So how I did it with the social media, and they're basically the same answers, but for different things.
Mm,
Um, what I would try to do, and I was not perfect at this whatsoever, because sometimes if I didn't have that one thing, I would just naturally go to sometimes, as everybody knows, you just find something else to go to.
yep.
Um, and so that would be the case for me sometimes, but the method and the purpose behind it was that when I went to go grab my phone, I was bored, I was whatever, and I wanted to be entertained. Instead of, in those moments when I felt that inkling to go and grab my phone,
Mm,
I would try and use that moment for prayer, for silence, to listen to Jesus, to listen to the Holy Spirit, to listen to the Father, to see what He had to say to me. And
mm,
then I'm automatically giving that time to God, in what I was trying to do. Same thing goes for
right.
food. So I haven't done anything longer than a day fast.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, but what I do is when I'm hungry, when I feel that, the growling, whatever, of your stomach, I use that reminder of my hunger, and instead of, going to fill that, I'd sit and pray. I would stop, I would listen, and admittedly, the hunger one is, for in my like, it's harder in a different way,
Mm,
because you feel that a little more. You feel that in a greater physical way, maybe necessarily than you would using your phone.
right.
Um, but it's focusing on Jesus in those moments rather than food or social media or
Mm,
lack thereof. Yeah.
cool.
Um, yeah. So it's like and for beginners, what I would say is, you know, do a partial fast of food activities or things.
For sure. I
Yeah.
remember when I was a student, the way that they got us, um, the way that my youth pastor kind of got us into fasting, or um, sort of our intro to fasting, so to speak, was we did a 30-hour famine.
Mm.
And maybe you guys have heard of that. It was, I think it was like an actual organization. I don't remember.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it went towards a cause of some sort, because you would raise
yeah,
money beforehand, right?
yeah. Like we would get people to support you and stuff like that. And so I remember, uh, we woke up and I think you ate breakfast one morning, and then you wouldn't eat breakfast again until the next day. But it was like a brunch or something like that. Um, and yeah, I remember like it for me the first time I did it. I don't think I knew enough about fasting for me to really get it. Um,
Mm.
I think like I think I understood the like I'm raising money, and people are supporting me, and this money will go to a good cause, and that's a good thing. I kind of got that much, but I was I think I was probably in grade 8 or 7 when I did it, and so I remember thinking like I I think this is why I'm doing it, and I kind of got it because like if you went out for Halloween or something, you'd raise money for UNICEF and you'd wear the
Yeah.
boxes around your neck. So that's kind of how I understood it at the time. Um, but it was such a good way to like kind of get in it, not necessarily the habit, but
Mhm.
um, that kind of got me thinking like, oh, like this is something, this is part of my faith. This is like, this isn't just something that I do when, things are bad and I really need God's help. So now I'm going to fast and God's going to see that I'm super passionate about wanting this thing or needing this thing or needing him to show up. Um, it helped because it seemed like a normal thing. And
Mhm.
so I was able to take that and say like, yeah, this is just kind of, this is part of being a Christian,
Mhm.
is choosing things and denying ourselves some things so that we can take that time and take that mental energy and put it into something better.
Yeah, that's good. So when it comes to what would you say when if someone were to come to you and ask you your reasoning behind now today, where you after learning all of this, and where you're standing and where you're sitting now, why do you fast or how do you do fast? Like what maybe from a heart perspective, how do you fast?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think I get what you're asking. Um, for me, I try to look at it. I guess I try to look at it as a normal-ish thing. I don't know if that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain. I think that if I want to improve at something, for example, um, I really enjoyed when I was a kid. I played a lot of golf, um, and when I was a teenager, and I golfed a lot, and so I wanted to get better, and
Mm-hmm.
so I decided that I would go to the driving range and I would practice, and then I decided I'll work at courses and I'll go golfing as much as I can. And what I was doing, I have other interests. Like I played hockey, I played, video games with my friends. Um, I did, various different clubs and stuff like that when I was in high school. And so I could have chosen any one of those things to invest time into to get better at. Um, but I chose to not, although I enjoyed them, I said in my head, I was like, well, I like golf the most. So I'm going to put my time there instead of, you know, doing extra dry land hockey training or learning how to, build a robot better or whatever it was that I was involved in. Although I liked all of those things, I liked video games and all that. I decided to take my time and mental energy that I would put into those things and I moved them into something that I felt like was more important to me.
Mm.
And so when it comes to fasting, I try to take a similar mindset, a more serious mindset about it, but a similar mindset where I say, my relationship with God is supposed to be number one in my life. It's supposed to be the thing that I am devoting all of my, energy and ability to. And so if that means that, today I just, I'm going to deny myself lunch. And instead of eating lunch, I'm going to open my Bible. I'm going to take quiet time and I'm going to listen to God. And could I do that while I'm eating a sandwich? Sure, I could. Absolutely. Like
Mm.
that's not a hard thing to do. Um, but when I'm denying myself as well, there's there is so much more skin in the game. Um,
Mm.
just like how I'm not sure of an appropriate like if you were to go to the arcade, for example, let's say you went to Dave and Buster's, and you went and you were trying to get the most tickets because you wanted to get this cool prize that was millions of tickets, and if you brought your own money, you'd probably be wiser about it because you've got skin in the game. Whereas like if your parents just said, "Here's the credit card, go have fun," maybe you'd not that my parents ever did that for me, and I'm sure your parents don't just hand you the credit card and tell you to go wild, but
Never.
um, yeah, there's a difference of mindset when we actually have skin in the game. Um, if you're bringing your own cash with you to win that prize, you're gonna, scout around, find the game that gives the best revenue for winning, and what's the best payout, and you're gonna kind of do your research. Whereas if you're just sort of given the money and the tokens to go do that, you're just gonna kind of play everything and as much as you want.
Mm,
So when you have skin in the game, um, I I take it more seriously.
yeah, that's real. I appreciate that. Um, I good transition. Um, so when it comes to this having this buy-in, um,
Mm,
I wanted just to like do a quick flyover of some like biblical examples of like what some fasts look like, and then I would love to address something that's in the room that I think is really important too.
okay.
Um, so in like practically speaking, example wise, you see 1 day, 3 day, 7 day, and then like I was talking about earlier, the 40-day fasts. These are
Right.
just examples of different situations mostly. All of them, though, were about intimacy with God. They were coming and they were coming to God, and they were either asking something of Him, whether to know what to do next. Like for example, um, in Esther 4, she asks the people of Israel to pray and fast for her before she went and spoke to the king.
Yeah.
Um, there was a not. It's interesting that she doesn't just ask them to pray for her as she
Mm,
goes. There's a fasting. There's sacrificing something in order to perhaps hear more clearly from God. Um,
right.
and I think maybe the crossover there is the sacrificing of distractions to hear more clearly from God.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something like that. So these are all good examples. But here's the one thing I wanted to touch on, and we had talked about this a little bit as we were prepping for tonight, and that's those people in the room, the virtual room, who battle with eating disorders.
Yeah.
And when we talk about giving up food, there's perhaps some backstory for some that maybe you haven't brought to light, and I want to say you're
Hmm.
in a safe place. Jesus still loves you. You are not loved any less. Um, and that actually he wants fullness and healing for you. But I was
Yeah.
listening to a podcast today about a lady who had battled an eating disorder,
Mm,
and now her on the other side of that experiencing that healing, and her experience with fasting, and um, what she talked about in her story now, is it's for her, she needs to make it about, or what she would do is she would make it about the food rather than the relationship with Christ. And she said the
mm,
practice is about getting us into relationship with Christ and deeper
right.
relationship with Christ. And she talked about this drive of this head-on-head collision that there's sometimes of this between holiness and perfection. We all want to look as good as we possibly can, and sometimes our desire for perfection comes above our desire to be holy. And perfectionism is so dangerous that the goal is not perfection. The
Yeah.
goal is more freedom. And she talked about how Jesus needed to help her come to a place where she wanted what the Spirit wanted,
Mm,
and for her becoming and being in alignment with the Spirit of God. Um, and she said, she's like, for those dealing with eating disorders, it's easy not to eat rather than to eat, or vice versa maybe.
yeah.
And so for those of you in the room who battle this with eating disorders, um, fasting, at least when it comes to food, is probably not the best thing to participate in, because it kind of gives permission to go back to those
Hmm.
patterns, is what she was sharing in her testimony. And so there might be other disciplines, practices to look into in doing that.
Yeah.
Um, and if you can't engage in this practice, there's no shame.
Mm,
Connect with a life group leader, a pastor, a parent, or a counselor, and talk about what you're going through, and your story. because like this lady said, and she found freedom in that, is that Jesus can bring healing, and he brings it
Yeah.
through people like counselors, through um, getting closer with him and hearing what he has to say about you rather than what you believe about yourself today, that
Mhm.
you're not beautiful and that you need to do something in order to be more beautiful or perfect or better shape, whatever that might be. um, so I just wanted to touch on that a bit. And so, what out of all of this, what does this mean for us, you and I, and the rest of our crew that's watching, Nick?
Totally. Well, I personally want to engage in this. I what I'm going to be doing is for the next 7 days is I'm going to be practicing intermittent fasting, um, and what that looks like is uh, choosing a window of 8 to 10 hours a day where you can eat. And then the rest of the day you fast, including like when you go to sleep. You should probably fit that into the time where you're fasting. Um, and that's twofold. One, I mean, I'm quarantined. Well, we're not like not officially quarantined, but like we're we're at home. We're not doing a whole lot, and so one, I don't need 3 meals a day. Um, but two, this is something that I think is achievable. It's reachable, and I want to be putting more and more and more time and effort into my relationship with God. Um, I don't ever want to get to the point where I feel like I'm done or I've gotten
Mm.
all the way. Like I've, how do I say, uh, like I've achieved what I'm striving for. I always want to be working on um, having a deeper relationship with God um, because He is just that good. He is just that great, that it's worth it. And so for me, just personally, um, I am going to be for the next 7 days practicing intermittent fasting. And so when I would normally have breakfast or dinner, I'm going to be spending time in the Word.
Mm.
If it's late at night and I want a snack, instead I'm gonna pray. I'm just gonna spend time with God. Um, so if that's something that resonates with any of you who are watching, then I'd encourage you to join with me in it, and send me a message, send me an email, message me on Instagram if you want to, you know, see how it's going. Hear my experience, or let's hear your experience. For me, that's what I'd like to do. We're not asking you guys all to do that. I want to be clear. We're not saying this because I want every single one of you to choose this kind of fasting. Absolutely not. But I think it would be a great thing this week if you and your life group would pick a meal together tomorrow that you guys would fast. Maybe it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, um, and don't do it accidentally. It's intentional. So if you slept in and missed breakfast, that doesn't count. Have your breakfast, and then maybe you pick lunch or you pick dinner to give up, and spend time with God. Spend time in the Word. Spend time praying, and chat with your life group about it too. Like connect with them. Ask them how their experience was. Did they get a word from the Lord about you? Um, and maybe there's something that they want to share with you that they heard from God. Um, so that's just one of the things that we're encouraging you guys to give up. And Andrew, I think in your experience too, if you want to talk about the social media side as well. Um,
Well, yeah. So just to kind of build on what Nick said a little bit is if skipping a meal is complicated for you, maybe give up social media for 2 to 4 hours. I know even today where that feels like that's your point of connection. The point of what we're doing as a group together, with our vision behind this, is that we would all fast a meal, and in doing that, we would all begin to pray for our world and some of the other things that we'll give at the end of this. Um, So instead of, for example, maybe instead of giving up food, give up Instagram for a certain time frame to pray, to read your Bible, to spend time with your family. For me, that's something that I would love to do, and
Yeah,
spending time with my family is an important part of that as well. In that I want to foster and steward a good gift that God's given me, um,
absolutely.
and uh, and so some tools. One more thing on this is if you like all of a sudden you're sitting down at dinner time tomorrow and you're like, nope, I'm giving up dinner. And your parents are like, what? And you're like, yeah, our youth pastor said to skip a meal today. And don't do that. This is a great opportunity to talk to your parents about what this is, if this is something you choose to do and why you're doing it. The why
Yeah,
is always so important. And this is a great opportunity to tell those people about your relationship with Jesus. You want to go deeper. And this is a way that that you are practicing to do that. And so
give them a
grab your
heads up,
journal.
is what you're saying.
Giving them a heads up. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
just like, nope, not coming to dinner
Thanks,
because
Mom, for buying
my
these expensive steaks and cooking them up for us tonight. But
yeah, yeah.
surprise.
Well, and especially if there are some concerns and not concerns. That's not the right word I want to use. If there is struggles in the area
Mm,
of eating disorders, then this would be. I would say I would encourage you if this is something you struggle with, do give something else up.
yeah,
Do the social media fast, something like that.
yeah,
Some of the things we want to what we want to pray for as a group collectively as we do this, is for specifically those on the front lines of COVID-19 pandemic. So those health workers in the hospitals and clinics, emergency responders, and even people like those in the grocery stores who are working long hours to keep them stocked so that we can have food on our table. And then the other is for our neighbors,
yeah,
and specifically asking God, how does He want you to engage with them in, of course, a socially distant manner? So those are some things you can pray as you fast and ask God specifically for. And what would be some ways? What are some practical tools, Nick, that they could use as they fast to do this and do this well?
yeah, totally. I think some things that you guys can work on is, um, I'm more, I like the practicality of it, but take a take time and journal. If you guys have one, that would be sweet. If you don't have one, I mean, you guys have cell phones, so grab your cell phone, open up I don't know, Evernote or something like that, and take some notes. How did it feel to fast? It can be, it doesn't have to be spiritual. Like, it doesn't have to be, this is exactly what I heard from God. If you hear something from God, wonderful, write that down. But you could write down, you know,
Battery
I was just
low.
hungry. I wasn't very happy. I didn't enjoy it. You can write that down if that's your experience. Um, if if something incredible happens and you feel like your relationship with God just takes a turn for the better, wonderful. Let's write that down as well. Other things that you can do is read scripture. Jesus says that man doesn't live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. And the Bible is literally just a buffet of good words from God. Like, feed on that. If you are feeling hangry or hungry or snackish, go and feed on the Word of God. Don't eat the pages, but literally just soak in those words and feast on them, which is exactly what Jesus did when he was in the wilderness as well.
Mm, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's what we got.
Awesome.
So what we're gonna do is Nick is going to pray to close, and
Mhm.
then the Zoom information that you should have had from last week, and we sent out again today. You are gonna grab and you're gonna jump into the Zoom meeting, and we'll start breaking you off into your life groups.
And then I'm also going to throw these up. Um, Again, if you want to send us a message on Instagram, these are our handles. So I might have to put a new quote in for me after this morning's prayer scripture time. But um, if you guys want to send us a message with a prayer request, or you know how your time was going, um, then please make sure you check us out. You can also check out our uh, youth group Instagram at Foothills_youth, and you can send us any prayer requests that you may have. But for now, let's pray, and then we'll jump into Zoom after that. Dear God, Lord, we just thank you for giving us the ability to meet together. God, what a blessing it is to have the technology to gather on YouTube, on Instagram, on Zoom, to joke, to play games, to look at baby photos of each other and make fun of them. God, to have serious conversations, to genuinely have conversation with each other about how we can do better, how our relationship with you can grow, can deepen, can become more meaningful. Lord, we thank you for that. God, I want to lift up our health workers to you. God, thank you for their passion to see people healed physically. And Lord, I pray that you would just protect them, especially during this time. God, I pray that they would have all of the supplies that they need. God, I pray that they wouldn't be impacted any more than they already are when it comes to shortages. God, I pray that you would begin to provide miraculously. God, I pray that you would give them rest as well. I'm sure they're just absolutely exhausted. Lord, I pray that you would prevent them from contracting COVID as well, as they're in such close quarters with people that have it. Lord, I want to pray as well for families and just ask God that you would use this as an opportunity to grow those families together. God, I pray that you would just superintend their time of playing card games or reading stories or even watching TV together. God, I pray that families would come out of this time of social distancing stronger than ever. So we pray this all in your name, God, and bless our time in life group now. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Hey, just one quick reminder. Don't forget when you're signing in to please put your grade at the end of your name. And so grade, so for example, Joe Smith, grade 11, boy. That's really helpful for us so when you sort you. So please do that. That'd be really helpful. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later on Zoom right now. Bye.
Okay. See ya.